Hello, my friends. I do want you to take a look at the notes that we took a little bit ago. These notes here, comparing the factors and products. These notes will really help you with our final lesson of the unit. And if you do not have that, look at the video comparing factors and products. So basically, if you remember, I'm just going to review this very quickly. And adding and subtracting. Hold on a second. So any number times 1 or a fraction equivalent to 1 will always be that number, okay? If I have a fraction times a mixed number or an improper fraction, the product will always be greater than that fraction, okay? So that's going to help us with this. If the first factor fraction is less than the product, then less than 1, then the product will be less than the second factor. So you're going to be referring back to that as we go. So I want you to rip out page 363. And we're going to actually put in, let's see, we're actually going to be looking at some of these questions. And if you do not want to rip it out, just copy it down then. We're going to do, here's our next page. Our title is Scaling with Multiplication. So basically we're comparing. And this is lesson 8.8. So let me show you what I was talking about earlier. So if I have 2.5 times 1 2/3, is it going to be greater than, less than, or equal to this number? Okay, if I'm multiplying a number by a number that's more than 1, it is going to be larger than the original number. Okay, if I'm multiplying 1 2/3 by a number more than 1, it's going to be larger than the number. So I'm going to put that here. If I'm multiplying my fraction or mixed number a number more than 1, it'll be larger than my original fraction. So it'll be larger. That's my original fraction. Okay. All right, my next one I'm going to do, if I'm multiplying let's see here. A fraction times a fraction, then it's going to be smaller than the original fraction. Okay? So I'm going to show you how I know this. This is actually, when you think about it, 3/5, you're finding 3/5 of 2/3. So you're finding a piece of the 2/3. So your answer is going to be that piece of 2/3. So it's not going to be, it's going to be less than 2/3. I'm finding a piece of 2/3, 3/5 of it. So my answer will be that small piece. So that means it'll be smaller. Okay. I'm going to do another one. Let's see here. 5. All right, this is going to be equal to, because 5/5 equals 1. And 4 2/3 times 1 is 4 2/3. Okay, so we're going to do a couple over here from page 356. It will be, let's see here, 1 3/4. And if they flip-flop it, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. They just put it on the other side. So I'm going to look, what am I multiplying this number by? I'm multiplying it by a number that is larger than 1, which means that my answer here is going to be larger than my original fraction because it is larger than 1. So my answer is going to be larger. This will be 4. All right, let's do 2 more. 5. 1/2 times 1 2/5 is greater than, less than, or equal to 1 2/5. All right, so I'm finding a fraction of 1 2/5. So my answer is going to be less than 1 2/5. Remember, the gator mouth opens up to the larger number, so that's going to be larger. 2 1/5 times 1/10 equals 2 1/5. Now you have to pay attention to what, not equals, it's what is. Sorry, I'm used to writing equals. You have to pay attention to what's on the other side of the box, because if this is on the other side of the box, then it would be a little different. So 2 1/5 times 1/10. It is going to be my original fractions being multiplied by a fraction. So my mixed number is being multiplied by a fraction, so I want to find 1/10 of this. So it's actually going to be smaller than 1/10 because I'm multiplying it by a fraction.